Yo, what's popping, guys? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All right. So, coming to today's market open, I'm sure you guys probably read what we were watching yesterday. I really don't have too much time to really explain it in the first place, just because the market volume is really crazy right now. But we do have something pretty interesting to kind of trade into market open. I'm sure you guys know this, but since yesterday, I've been looking out for shorts since the market closed. Mainly because I don't know. I'm sure you guys remember from the stream yesterday, but we pretty much and we wanted to take longs. We waited for longs all day, and the long position that we wanted to take off of this inverse, I think, yeah, this inverse right here, it happened during the last minute of market open, and it hit our price targets above, which is exactly why I'm bearish for now, right? We hit the objectives above. We kind of miss all-time high, but we're still getting the sweep, which is good as long as you're able to hold below this Asia high over here. And I just want to see if the selling pressure can come in strong enough to go ahead and break below this inverse. Now, I haven't opened up the chat yet, but yes, I do know that we do have a news at 9:45 a.m. EST, which is in about 10 minutes from now. All right. We'll see how that news comes out, whether it's bullish or bearish, and depending on the reaction that we get. But for now, if we're able to sell off in the next few minutes, I really want to enter shorts below 23,324. That has been my initial entry since last night that I've been looking to kind of take. All right, now if you guys look at the market, same read as yesterday. Pretty much what we have going on here is obviously you guys, I'm sure you guys know this, but we took out the Asia high. Once again, this was our price target from yesterday straight that we wanted to take off of this inverse over here, right? And now we are currently trying to hold it just barely below the Asia low, I mean the Asia high, which is kind of confirming a bearish bias, but we do have the MSS model pretty much lined up perfectly, at least for now, right? And the reason I'm saying that I like the way the MSS model is lined up is mainly because check this out, right? So we took out the Asia high, we took out the objectives. This is where buyers usually start losing interest because they did what they wanted to do in the first place, right? And the market went from creating the main low, higher low, into not creating the main high, lower high, main low, lower low, right? Giving us a pretty much beautiful and pretty much spot on MSS model, right? Which would be right here, into right here. All right, so hopefully that makes sense to you guys. All right, now we pretty much have everything lined up. We have the DOL sweep. We have a little bit of selling pressure. Not yet, it's coming through. We have the MSS model. We have the entry model. We have everything, right? All we need now is just a little bit of a boost into the downside. So I will say for now, the market it's not the craziest open. We have a pretty nice candle, but obviously the momentum isn't really there as we did close as a doji candle. But worst comes to worst, if we don't get an entry by like 9:40, maybe 9:42 max, we should probably just wait out the red folder, see how it comes out. If it comes out bearish, we could just take the impulse into the inverse and just go off that. So yeah, we can for sure do that as well. Now I will say that this trade might be a little bit riskier. Just for today, this is probably going to be the riskiest trade of the week. And the reason I'm saying that this trade is going to be so risky is mainly because obviously we have news coming out in about 9 minutes from now. All right, so just so you guys know. And by the way, guys, for my people on YouTube, welcome up, good morning. Let me go ahead and put out that I'm live on YouTube. So obviously everyone else can understand what setup I'm looking at. But yeah, other than that, let's see. We're about to break new lows here, which is an amazing sign. You know that sellers have the momentum. Um, so yeah, let's see if we can actually hold this down, of course. There you go. But yeah, like I said, so far what I'm looking for is a nice, pretty much just knife down to the downside. All right. But yeah, let's see. Now I really do want to go get water. I don't know if I have enough time. Because I didn't have enough time to kind of fill it up. Now for my price targets, I know I have a lot of price targets down here, but I kind of just want to target these three main lows below. I feel like it would just be a little bit more realistic depending on the selling pressure. Now, if you obviously go below, which would be amazing, we do know what to target as well. But for now, I just mainly want to look for these three levels to get taken out, which would be the fair value gap entry, the internal low, and the New York low from Wednesday, which was yesterday, in fact. Yeah, today's Thursday. Wow, this week is already ending. I'm not gonna lie, this week has been a little bit longer than than the rest. But yeah. Anyways, one thing I will say, guys, is also has this beautiful. If we don't end up going down yet, which I'm really hoping we do, because that setup is amazing. But ES has this beautiful double or triple top up here that has been getting rejected from so many times on the higher time frame. This level right here, this 406 level, I think has some resistance onto it. So I'm sure there's a lot of liquidity lying there as well. But in the meantime, we're just gonna stick with the MSS model slash the Asia high deal also from yesterday. But yeah, I'm really hoping I can get an entry soon just so I can go fill up on water because wow, I am really thirsty. Now, just for today, guys, I might size a little bit lighter on this trade, just because it's a little risky. I might do 5 contracts, not only because I'm very green on the week already with the 125-point trade that we caught on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, Monday or Tuesday. So I might just take it a little bit lighter than usual today, just to make some extra money and just probably just call it a week. And obviously, it may also make sense to size a little bit lighter on this one, just because we have news coming out in about 7 minutes from now. All right, all right, guys. So if you guys want, go ahead. You know what I mean? Do whatever floats your boat. You know. But yeah, for me, I'll just be taking this one a little bit lighter than usual, just because of the risk and just because I'm really green on the week already. So I just don't want to risk giving back too much. Yeah, so far we're kind of just like, it's like we have the selling pressure. It's just the momentum isn't super stable yet. I guess it's the market just kind of anticipating the news coming out. I guess it's just waiting for that before it actually goes in a certain direction. Because that does tend to happen pretty much with every big red folder that comes out, which is whether it's CPI, FOMC, NFP, this right here. I don't know. Right, the market just doesn't want to do it what it wants to do until obviously the news report comes out to really back up that direction. Now I'm really hoping, because guys, what we have here is pretty much lined up in my eyes pretty much perfectly. I'm really hoping that we don't come out with bullish news. That'll be very unfortunate because it, it won't really mess up the setup unless we sell off and push back up, which could happen. But it's just we're currently like in the first 10 minutes of market open, and the volume tends to die down. The further away we get from market open. So right now it's pretty much just prime time to take a trade. You know what I mean? It's my favorite time as well. To take a trade on in the markets in the first 30 minutes of market open. So I'm really, really hoping that news is able to come out bearish and just completely sell off just to the downside, and we call it a day one and done without having to wait till like the PM session till market close and the whole thing. You know what I mean? Yesterday I was on the charts yesterday from 9 AM EST all the way to 4 PM EST, and then I witnessed a setup that I was watching since the night before play out in front of my eyes the second the market closes. You know what I mean? It was a little bit unlucky. I wasn't really mad about it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was, I'm like, oh wow, we got the good read up on it. But you know what I mean? You know what it is? Being on the charts all day doing absolutely nothing, watching paint dry to then just watch the market go into your favor when you can't really take it. Well, you could have taken it. It's just I don't typically trade after the market closes. That's really risky. You know what I mean? Because the volume will die down, and you already know the deal. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, I'm really hoping I can get an entry here because I'm gonna go get water. Yeah. So far we're kind of we still have 3 minutes left, so I would prefer that we kind of hold around this range for some time. And by some time I mean 3 minutes until news comes out, depending on the reaction that we get off there. Obviously we can kind of do everything. Now with the news, I'm actually kind of hoping that we push up for a split second. That's typically how news comes out. You know what I mean? The report has to come out, but investors are starting to pump or dump money into the markets. So you might notice that the candle might go a little bit crazy at first, and then it chooses one direction. That's what we want to see. All right, guys. So that's pretty much what I'm waiting on right now. I just want to see this nice push up, green to red, sell off. We break new candle lows, then we just completely shoot all the way down into these levels of liquidity below. And obviously, if we have good selling pressure, we should be good enough to at least see PT 1 and 2. I mean, they're pretty. I'm not gonna say they're pretty close to each other, but yeah, it's a 35 point ish difference. But if the selling pressure is there, we can definitely see it for sure. Let me make sure that ES doesn't have anything that can really mess us up in a way. We have the same fair value gap here on ES that NQ has as well. But yeah, about three. I feel like I have enough time to fill up on water. I'm gonna take my phone with me because guys, I really can't hold anymore. I'm gonna take my phone with me if the entry comes along, guys, or if we sell off really strong. Obviously, I'm sure you guys are capable of looking at the chart and knowing when to enter. But give me like literally 2 seconds. Let me fill up on water. Hold up. All right, so I'm back. All right, thank God I had enough time for that. Anyways, all right, let's see what we got here. So yeah, news coming out in about 15 seconds, guys. So be ready. It could be pretty quick. So I mean, the market's obviously not gonna wait for any of us. You know what I mean? If it wants to go down, it's gonna go down. All right, guys. So let's see what we have to work with here. Hopefully, it's some very bearish news. Let's see. Candle's going a little crazy. Give us some time to actually react to the actual market news. Please don't be bullish. You know what I mean? I'm really hoping it's bearish here. And I'm actually hoping it has a reaction. Some red folders don't even have reactions. But yeah, we need a nice sell-off here. Let's see if we can get it here on NQ. And hopefully we get a reaction. I don't know if it's come out yet. I mean, the market's kind of like a doji candle. It's like 5 points. 10 points. No, don't tell me it came out bullish. Let me check it out. Hold up. Forex Factory. What do we have here? Oh, no, it's still pending. Okay, it's coming out. It looks like it came out bullish. The other one is still pending, so maybe we can still get a bearish reaction in the market. Although, yeah, it came out bearish. Okay, cool. So we're probably going to get more of like not the craziest move in the market for sure, because one came out bullish and one came out bearish. But I mean, I'm just hoping we're able to get some selling pressure somewhere, bro. That's all I want. I don't care if the news comes out bullish or bearish. I just need it to come out. I just need the market to react in a bearish way. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait all day for the setup. I just want to take it off open and just call it a day. You know what I mean? But yeah, from the looks of it, ES is definitely a little bit more bullish. So don't worry about ES kind of pushing up here when NQ. Well, now it is. It wasn't really reacting a second ago. But yeah, anyways, it might seem like ES might try to take out this triple top. I put a double top here. Let me kind of mark it out as triple. A triple top here. We also have all-time highs up here. So maybe before we go any lower, we might want to take out this level of liquidity. That it's nothing bad. The only downside to this is we might just have to wait a little bit longer for the setup to play out. You know what I mean? We have to wait for the reaction and the whole 9 yards. I'm sure you guys know what I'm saying. But I mean, if we go up a little bit, that's totally fine. As long as we just don't trend bullish for the day, we should be good for the setup. Whether it takes an hour, 30 minutes, or maybe even all day to play out, I guess we'll just wait it out. You know what I mean? I guess that's the case for now. But yeah, it it kind of sucks that the news came out both bullish and bearish, because there was two sorts of news reports coming out at the same time. So I guess that's kind of why the market kind of just reacted how it reacted. It did kind of nothing. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys were probably expecting like a CPI type of candle. Uh, but yeah. Anyway, so far we are still trying to kind of rip up here. Maybe we try to take out this London high above. Maybe that's the case before we go any lower. But the only thing I just don't like about that is it's gonna, if the volume dies down we're gonna have to wait. I know it. This has happened every single time. We're gonna have to wait for the market to. It's gonna the volume's gonna die down, and we're gonna have to wait for the market to go all the way back down into the inverse with more pressure. I really hate doing that. I really do. But yeah, we're yeah, yes, all right, yeah, yes, just took out all-time highs and everything. So if anything, we could probably take a trade off of this type of sweep instead, rather than just waiting for something here. Because we do have a 5 minute gap over here on obviously on the 5 minute time frame. So if anything, guys, worst case, if we push up literally 2 points, 5 points, we can create a gap here, and we could just probably look to inverse this gap instead, and then just look to trade it into this inverse as well. Um, Obviously, if the selling pressure is there, we probably don't really have to worry about this gap instead. But I feel like that'll have to be the new game plan for now, just because the market is kind of pushing up due to the news being bullish. But right now, we just finished taking. Wait, not yet. I was about to say right now we just finished taking out the London high, but we're very close. We're very close. All right, but right now, guys, I still have the same bias. Um, it's just wait for the selling pressure. Which the plan behind this is we don't know when it's gonna come, if it's gonna come. It should come, but we don't know when. But for now, I mean, we have some good confirmations stacked up on top of each other, especially with ES taking out the triple top and the all-time high. So hopefully we're able to get a very nice and clean sweep off this level. It does kind of seem like buyers are slowing down around this range. I really hope that doesn't come back and kind of show us otherwise. But for now, I'm really interested in seeing some selling pressure here, or a sweep follow with a selling pressure, because right now what we could do is obviously on both NQ and ES, we have a beautiful 5 minute fair value gap right over here. Right, so literally all we need, guys, is ES already took out the levels of liquidity. We're waiting on a sweep if we can get it, hopefully. And if NQ could take out this London high and sell back down, we can inverse this fair value gap and just look to have extra price targets into the London low as well, which would be, if we take the entry from here, about 30 to 40 points, 35 to 30 to 40 points, which is not bad at all for a first price target. It's in fact more than a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio trade. But right now we just finished closing the fair value gap. So here's a new game plan, guys. We're not going to use this fair value gap right over here. We can use it as like a reference in the market for a bias and a bounce and everything. But for now, I want to go ahead and see how exactly we're able to hold this fair value gap right over here. Right, hopefully we're able to kind of hold it somewhere like around where my mouse is. We sell off a little bit, but we don't sell off too much to inverse the fair value gap. So what I want to see, and guys, once again, we're about to get the DOL sweep on ES. So if NQ goes down before taking out the London high, don't worry about it, guys. It's actually okay. All right. The reason behind this, guys, is because we already have a lot of confirmations. We have the Asia high DOL, and keep in mind, ES is kind of leading a little bit more. So as long as ES is able to hold down after it took out the level of liquidity, NQ should be able to react kind of the same way. All right, guys. So it's okay. It's okay if we don't take out the London high. We would honestly prefer if we could, but we don't have to, right? Especially now that we're selling off, I would much rather just not have to push back up to then sell back down again into the same range. That's just extra. That's just the same setup with extra steps. I'm not trying to do that. I mean, so what I want to see here is, instead of us inversing this 15-minute gap, which we still could if this 5-minute gap doesn't hold because we are selling off a little bit here, what I would want to see here is inverse this 5-minute gap instead, and then target the London low, and then obviously the extra price targets below like that, right? Which would look somewhat like this is what I would want to see. So the market right now isn't super volatile, so I would say 30 points is pretty reasonable. Um, I'll decide whether I want to do 30 or 35 because of the market volume. I don't know if it's super volatile or dying down or whatever. But what I would want to see for now, let's just stick to 30 points. What I would want to see would be the London low over here. The London low drawn liquidity. Mainly that's our main, that's gonna be our main price target. And I'm really hoping this gap can hold up. I'm open to using the 15-minute gap. It's just we have to sell off over 50 points to see an entry. Why do that when we can just get an entry here and sell off into the price target, which would have been our entry? You get what I'm saying? So hopefully we can hold up this very tiny gap. I literally told you guys I wanted to close literally right here where my mouse was. That's exactly where we're at. So if we can hold this selling down for a little bit, maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds, that is all I need, and I'll be super happy with the setup. And we'll just have our price targets set pretty much all the way down here for over 220 points, which is insane if we do see it, which I don't really think we'll see 200 points today, but as long as we're able to get a trade over 30 points, I'll be happy with literally anything. All right. And by the way, yeah, ES also created a fair value gap over here, which will be also nice if we can also inverse this gap as well. All right. But yeah, guys, the current game plan right now is look for this. I'm really, really hoping that we don't sell off too much in this candle specifically. Because remember, guys, we need to close the gap down. Now, if the like I said, if the gap does get closed down, do not worry about it. The setup is not messed up or anything. We're just gonna have to wait a little bit extra, and just wait for this 15-minute gap to get inverse instead, which was our initial entry model. All right, just because we won't have anything to work with up here. All right, but so far, I mean, this setup right here looks pretty much beautiful. I absolutely love it. Especially now that we know that ES took out the all-time highs and everything. That's just an extra confirmation with an SMT. You know what I mean? Just extra steps or extra confirmations. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. We have 1 minute left. Let's hope and pray that we don't close below this gap in 1 minute. No. Guys, we might have to wait for the 15-minute gap. What are the chances we just get the most random little pullback, like 10 points? What are the chances? Yeah, no, definitely not happening. Yeah, the gap is gone. Anyway, so yeah, guys, we're gonna have to resort back to the 15-minute gap, but it doesn't matter because we are still getting selling pressure, which is still really nice. I just wanted to really enter off that 5-minute gap, but it's okay. It's okay if we didn't. It's totally okay. So all we need now, guys, is just look for a selling pressure right here. I was about to say we also got a really, really nice green to red candle flip here on the 15-minute time frame, which is really good. I'm gonna stick to 35 points just for this one. Regardless, I'm gonna be sizing a little bit lighter either way, but we are selling off like crazy right now. It's surprisingly, whoa. Okay, no, wait, we are actually selling off like crazy. Hold up. Let me delete this because we don't really need that right now. Okay, so we can do something like this. Yeah, pretty much the same exact game plan as the one before. But we are selling off a lot. I don't know why too much, but we are selling off. Let's see. Let's see if we can get guys. If we can get a green to red flip here, that'll be, whew, beautiful. Obviously, we still need a little bit more selling pressure here, about 30 points more to the downside, so we can get that entry. So hopefully we can get it. Guys, if the market pumps up in this candle, bro, I'm going to be so confused because I don't get why we would sell off so much, mess up the 5-minute fair value gap to then go back up. Come on now. You know what I mean? I would hope that we can actually hold this down. And on the bright side, ES does have this 5-minute IFEG that I can also get if we get a green to red candle here. All right, let's see. ES is trying to flip here while NQ is kind of holding up a little bit. For now, we're not really pumping up. Let's kind of keep it that way. Because I really want the setup to play out very soon. So yeah, let's see. I don't know why this selling candle came in all of a sudden. Very strong selling candle. On the 5-minute time frame, it was about over 40 points. 45 points, which isn't too bad. It's a pretty nice candle there. We just need that momentum to be stable, bro. We don't want this to sell off, go up like yesterday's market, which is why we couldn't get an entry anywhere. See what you guys can do here. See if we can kind of start rejecting a little bit down now. There we go. No, NQ is still holding up though. We got a beautiful flip on ES. So I guess we're starting to get more of an SMT flip here on these two. While ES is trying to sell off like crazy. Well, obviously, guys, ES has its reason to go down, while NQ has its reason to hold up. Keep in mind, guys, ES took out literally every single high in existence. Which is obviously our all-time highs. So if it wants to go down, it will make sure it goes down. But you guys got to keep in mind that NQ, on the other hand, hasn't even taken out the London high. So maybe it's trying to go up into this over here, which is why we're holding it up while ES was trying to sell off here. But the market volume right now is really quick. Can anyone? I'm gonna open up the chat. I haven't opened up the chat at all, guys. Can anyone tell me if Trump is speaking right now? Because this market, we're getting very impulsive candles. Not very strong momentum, but very strong candles. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um, and your opinion? What did you ask? They wanting you to take the inverse off the second fair value gap below because we can instead of okay, look. So typically the way I trade is if there's a fair value gap that I want to inverse and there's a fair value gap above or below that gap that I want to inverse, if it's look, if we inverse this right here, we're looking at a pretty good price target to about 25 to 30 points, which is a 1-to-1 ratio trade. Now, if the fair value gap is like about 10 points away from each other, then I just won't take it. But since this one is a little bit further away, I'm willing to take it off this one right here, right over here. It's kind of hard to explain in a way. It's our preference in a way, but I look for a certain amount of points behind the gap on how far apart they are from each other, and obviously the selling pressure. And I'll just take it from there. Do the points on the wicks count towards the fair value gap? Yes, you're gonna measure out the whole entire candle. Oh, and by the way, guys, now that I have a lot of you guys in here, one thing I will say is, guys, today the Apex 80% off sale is gonna end today at midnight. I'm pretty sure. Do you always take your trims at 1-to-1? Yes, I do. When is it 90% off? I wish I could tell you. I don't really know. Hopefully they do it after this sale. But yeah, for the people that don't know, the Apex 80% off sale is ending tonight. So if you guys obviously want to stack up with some accounts, the code is on the screen. Code Blastoise. You say, well, it's not. I'm not the one that controls the discounts. They kind of extend it every single time. I just tell you every time it's gonna end, just so you guys are aware. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of you guys that you guys always ask after the sale ends, like, oh, when is the sale coming back? I don't know because I don't work for Apex. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you guys know, just in case you guys want to stack up on some accounts before the sale ends and possibly doesn't come back. I don't know if it will or not. But yeah, if you guys do want to get it, it's on the at the top of the screen, code Blastoise, of course. All right, and that goes for both YouTube and Discord. All right, guys. But yeah, anyways, now ES is pushing up again while NQ is kind of this market is a little weird. I'm not gonna lie, but let's see. Apparently, new or home sales is coming out in 20 seconds from now. So maybe the market is I don't. Today's market is weird. Definitely weird. It's volatile but choppy, or not really choppy, but just no momentum. So I'm really hoping we can get the momentum going very very soon. And it's really how. I mean, look at this, and this is the 5 minute time frame. Keep that in mind. You know, a little weird for sure. But yeah, market sucks a little bit, bro. Yeah, I don't really think this home sale news is gonna do anything, but I I I hope the market can prove me wrong. But let's see. Are you taking this on? Yes? No, no, definitely not. Let's see. I mean, well, we're kind of breaking past. Maybe the new home sales was a little bit cleaner than the red folder, even though it's an orange folder that we're getting off right now. You know, but yeah, let's see if we can get some more selling pressure. Right now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The selling pressure that we're getting right now, or the whole volume that we're getting right now, is a little weak. So I'm not really as confident. I love the setup. Don't get me wrong. It's just the volume. It's kind of killing that confidence, as if we can probably chop up as we go. You know what I mean? I don't really like that too much. Although I love the way the setup is lined up, and I love the way that ES is also lined up alongside NQ and everything. I absolutely love that. It's just the volume. It's a little questionable. You know what I mean? It can have you second guessing. You know what I mean? I mean, look at this. 22 points. I mean, the candle just opened. I guess you can say that, but hopefully we can kind of pick it up a little bit here into the inverse. And ES keeps trying to flip over here. Although it's kind of trying to be bearish, it's really hard to tell right now, guys. Really, really hard to tell when the market is so kind of choppy here. In the meantime, it's just kind of waited out. P has been so annoying. Since first moving around all-time highs. Nah, bro, it always gets like that, bro. I literally always tell you guys, look, seeing all-time highs is a blessing for our long-term portfolios and everything, which is amazing, right? But for us, tell me if I did or didn't tell you guys this. But for us day traders, trading at all-time highs is one of the hardest things, if not the hardest thing in the market. You know what I mean? It just makes price move so weird. We don't have levels to work with. It's just very limited. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. And you can ask this to any trader. Just trading at all-time highs is just very, very complicated. Just in terms of volume, levels, just so much. You know what I mean? It's just very, like I said, very limited. It's you don't have much to work with up here. If you don't create a level to the downside, you can't really trade into it, and there's nothing to the upside to get a read from. To no one's gonna reverse. So yeah, it's like I said, every other day we're creating a new level of all-time highs every single time. You know what I mean? So so yeah. Anyways, we're getting a little bit more selling pressure here. We still haven't been able to break any of the previous candle lows just yet, although we did get close. So far, nothing. And ES, I mean, bro, it's like, you see what I mean, guys? It's very weird. Which once again, I love the way the setup is looking, and setup and everything, but it's just the volume. It can have you second guessing the entry a little bit, whether you might want to take it or not. Like I said, I'm gonna take this a little bit lighter, just for today, just because I'm really green on the week and I don't want to risk giving back too much to the markets. Um, so yeah, I'm not, you know, but I really want to get us a good setup to at least end off the week. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, so far the selling is kind of holding down here. The only thing that's worrying me a little bit is ES being a little bit kind of like that, the party pooper in a way, I guess you can kind of say here. NQ is trying to sell off. As you guys see, we're not kind of waking up so much. But ES on the other hand, it's selling off, waking up, going back green, going back red, going back down, breaking no lows. It's a whole many things. You know what I mean? So hopefully ES isn't the reason why the setup is gets so ugly. But other than that, NQ looks like it kind of wants to sell off a little bit more. The selling pressure is definitely there. We just need a little bit more pressure to just inverse this gap. That's all we need. Because you guys see what I mean right here? Look, we were literally just down here a second ago. Now we're back green. This is like the fifth time it's done it. You know. So because right now we are getting the selling pressure. I just don't want ES to mess up the setup at all, bro. And it shouldn't, because we took out. If anything, ES should be the one selling off while NQ is the one doing this. But I guess not. I guess not, because ES took out every level of liquidity to the upside, and we're currently trying to hold below it. Giving us that deal Wall Street confirmation. Although we're not really forming too much of an MSS, which we are, but we're not at the same time. It's being formed. Um, so yeah, as long as we don't break past new candle low or new candle highs, we could be good. Um, but yeah, I'm just hoping that ES isn't that thing that stops us. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's see. You see, look, it did it again. This is like the seventh time it's done in the last 3 minutes. I'm just hoping we get some buyer exhaustion very soon. I would say that we can get some buyer exhaustion as long as we don't break above this high, which kind of going towards. But man, this market, man, wow, this is an ugly market. Although the setup is there, bro. Oof, if it wasn't for the setup, bro, I would have been off a long time ago, bro. Yeah, we're kind of just waking back up here. So I guess we gotta wait a little bit longer now, which not too long, maybe like a 30-point sell off. But it's just we need that volume. In the meantime, I guess I'll just kind of wait it out. Yeah, look, we can't even create the MSS here. Anyways, I'm catching with the chat. Bro. Maybe we just bro. I mean, the market is open. We're just waiting on the pressure to come in. That right now. I mean, look at the 15-minute time frame. Chop, chop, chop. So does the MSS take at least 3 candles? No. As long as you're able to identify whether it's on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the higher the time frame, the better. But as long as two, okay, look. So you're gonna have a main high or main low depending on the trend, right? And depending on the main high or low, the next candle or the next pullback in the market, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 candles or whatever, um, it has to be lower than the previous high slash low, right? So if you're in a bearish trend, you're gonna have a main high, lower high, all right, with the next pullback. If you're in a bullish trend, you're gonna have a main low, higher low. All right, as long as you're able to identify that, that's how you identify um the MSS. So for example, right here, let's just use these two examples, or these two candles for example. Check this out, right? The market had the main high, sold off, pulled back, sold off once again a little bit here. Your new high will be lower than the previous high, as you can see right here, right? This will be your MSS model, right? So as long as the next candles going forward don't break above this high, the trend will stay as bearish as possible, right? So yeah. Anyways, let me kind of turn this off. There you go. I don't know why I have this down here. There you go. Let me see what we got here. How's the new place going, bro? I slept over tonight, bro. I slept like a baby, bro. It was amazing. But all right, let's see. We're getting a 5 minute candle flip here, or at least trying to. Hopefully, this is the pressure that we need. In the meantime, let me catch up with the chat. Let me see if I have enough time. David, when are you streaming, taking fat W's and gamble all the profits on CS:GO case, bro? Anything but CS:GO cases, bro. Anyways, guys, we're getting a little bit more selling pressure here, so maybe this is what we've been waiting on. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. I don't want to get in a trade and chop out either. You know, that'll be even worse than. So look, DJ, for example, right here, MSS, right? Main high, lower high. Although it's close, it's the lower high. All right. Anyways, guys, we're about to get the inverse here, so lock in and pay attention here. All right, guys. Let me get this going. All right, let's see. Hover your mouse over the sell button, guys, just so we can get ready with the selling pressure. Remember, ow, bro, my ears, bro. The trading view alert, bro, so loud. Anyways, hover your mouse over the sell button just in case we do get an unexpected sell off. You guys can just click the button and we just go from there. All right, but so far we need to make sure that we hold an impulse below the gap. All right, we're not just looking for a break, we're looking for an impulse. Right, we need to make sure that sellers are strong enough to kind of confirm that we have room for lower. All right, guys, so make sure of that. Meantime, ES, please don't mess anything up, man. Dude, I have such a bad history with ES, bro. It always messes something up, always. It's like that annoying sibling, bro. But yeah, let's see. So far, we're kind of holding this candle like a doji candle green. Nothing crazy yet. I'm keeping I am waiting for very, very strong selling pressure. If not, I probably just won't take it until we get that. All right. But yeah, hover your mouse over the sub button, guys, and be ready. All right. The second I say I'm in, you guys can decide whether you want to take. Keep in mind, I am gonna take this one light. Just for myself, just because I don't want to risk as much. All right. I'm really green on the week, and I just obviously don't want to risk it. But yeah, so far it's kind of still looking a little bit like the momentum is a little sketchy. So we're just making sure that we're able to get that push down. You know what I mean? To kind of tell us that, hey, sellers are in control. We want lower. You know what I mean? But yeah, and hopefully we're able to inverse it in this candle. I don't want to wait for another candle because that just takes away a little bit of the confluence behind the fair value gap. If we're able to inverse it and just go straight off one candle, that's even better. You know what I mean? So yeah. We're just waiting on ES. I mean, it's literally the whole reason. NQ is ready to go down. I mean, look at the candle. NQ is ready to go down. It's just ES is kind of eating a little bit of shit here. You know what I mean? It's we need ES to really sell off here. You know. But yeah. We're getting a little bit of a break here. Nothing too crazy yet, though. All right, I'm gonna answer here, guys. I'm in. Ah, I got a late fill, man. What is that? 18? Ah, bro, that's a really late fill. Ah, it's whatever. I mean, I waited for it. You know what I mean? Anyways, guys, yeah, I got filled at 18. NQ shorts 18. Now, remember, I did feel a little light. So if you guys are looking at my profits through the screen share, you're like, yo, you're not making much. It's because I'm only in 5 contracts. I'm not really looking for anything crazy today. Just some extra money to end off the week on a good note. So yeah. We're about to see PT1 here. I know you guys might be like, yo, PT1, what do you mean? We're barely green. If you guys want, look, hold up. Because I might take some skills here. Like I said, yeah, I'm definitely going to take some skills here. All right, guys, I took 3 off here. For a quick scalp there. Let's go, baby. Nice little scalp there, guys. Make sure you guys remember it is a price target, so take something off here. Let me see. PT1 looks like some. Look to move. Yeah, hold on. Make sure everything looks good here. How many points did we hit here? Oh, well, okay. 25. Cool. Let me put this out real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Guys, let me know if you guys got a quick scalp off that. Like I said, don't really expect anything crazy. The price target was fairly close, and we are inside of this 15-minute fair value gap as well. So we can see a little bit of a bounce here, if not a full-on reversal. So if you guys want to do break even, you definitely could. Well, I'm not really expecting you to go break even just yet. I mean, if you want to go ahead, but it was pretty quick of a price target. So I definitely want to hold for a little bit more. But if you guys want to move your stop loss a little bit lower, you definitely can, just to de-risk a little bit from that contract or from the trade. All right, guys. But remember, we're this one is mainly just for a quick scalp here. But yeah, let's see if we can get a nice reversal here, or a nice green to red flip here. Remember, guys, we could get a bounce here, so make sure that I'm hoping that you guys were able to listen here and take some skills out here. Because keep in mind, we are inside of a 15-minute bullish rally gap, which we can also bounce from. So what I'm going to do, guys, is that I'm going to move my stop loss from 35 points to about 22 points over at 346. I'm gonna put it set at this 15-minute fair value gap close right here. All right, I'm gonna kind of de-risk a little bit here. So I'm gonna put my stop loss at 346. So buy 2 at 3. What is it? 346. There we go. 346. There we go. But yeah, guys. So far, from the looks of it, we did get, like I said, a quick scalp into the first price target, which is just the fair value gap entry. We are still holding up this 15-minute fair value gap. Now, if we're able to get a green to red candle flip here, which keep in mind, the market is a little bit choppy, so we could get some pullbacks here and there. Don't really get too scared about it, especially if you took scales. You should be chilling. But what we're looking for, guys, is mainly a a green to red flip into this inverse. Once we get this inverse, we should be locked in like crazy on our runners. All right, guys. But let me know. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how you guys are doing. You couldn't scale? No way, bro. That you had more than enough time to do it, bro. Come on now. This area that we bounced from is the previous day point of control. I don't really know what point of control means. I never really heard of it, but if you care to explain, you know what I mean? You got a terrible fill. I got a horrible fill. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I wanted to get filled around minimum 20, but I got 18. I mean, what's a 2-point difference? But regardless, I mean, it's whatever. I'm just hoping we can get a little bit more than 25 points on this trade for sure. I want to see at least this inverse happen. And ES is kind of flipping here, so NQ should follow along. It seems like ES is kind of picking up the volume a little bit here, or the SMT, I guess you could say. So yeah, let's see if we can kind of hold that up. Should you enter now? No, come on now, bro. guys, one of the things that I hate hearing all the time, and not hate. I know hate is a strong word, but it's like I just don't like hearing. Like I'll give you guys the trade. It goes into the price targets, and you guys were like, "Oh, should I enter?" Like, no, obviously not, bro. The trade just hit the whole target. I mean, it just did what we wanted to do from the entry. You know what I mean? But yeah, you wouldn't enter off the second inverse. Me, no. I mean, you could if you want to. So if you for the people probably wondering like, hey, should I get a re-entry? If anything, just wait for a little bit more selling pressure into this 15-minute inverse below, and also take it off that as well. All right. So keep that in mind. Runners will pay. Hopefully, I'm really hoping it for it. Now, you guys had another for the people that didn't get any skills here. You guys definitely had another shot at taking some skills around here if you guys definitely wanted to. But it's up to you. It's up to you. But yeah, let me kind of go ahead and mark this out just in case we do get a little pullback here. I'll know exactly what to look for on ES. Although ES is definitely becoming the weaker one in the market. By weaker, I mean stronger to the downside. While NQ is kind of trying to hold up. Keep in mind, ES did inverse the fair value gap that NQ is currently bouncing from right now. Or actually, no, I'm wrong because that's down here. But pretty much what I'm trying to say is, ES is definitely a little bit stronger to the downside. All right, so yeah, we'll see. Now, I'm really hoping I don't end break even on this trade. I definitely don't want to. Although it's a winning trade, I definitely want to give the trade some room to honestly go even lower. So if we can get one more candle flip to the downside and break past this candle low right here, I'll probably take one more contract off there. But if I end break even on this trade, honestly, I wouldn't really care that much. Just because, like I said, I'm really good on the week, and I'm just kind of taking this trade to make a little bit extra on the week. But yeah, we'll see. Because right now we are kind of getting a nice bounce off of this 15-minute gap. We retested it 2 times and we couldn't really hold into it, or hold below it for the inverse. So yeah, I'm really hoping that we're able to get a nice green to red, which I don't know if it's gonna be the case right now, just because we're bouncing off of this 15-minute gap and we're holding it up pretty good with buyers stepping in with some really nice aggression. So worst comes to worst, guys, I'll probably just get stopped out of break even. I wouldn't really care, honestly, but yeah, let's see if we can get a nice flip here. We're getting really close here, so fingers crossed we get a flip here, just so I can take one more scale out right down here, all right, to secure some more profits. You couldn't get your last trim? Don't worry, don't worry. I'm not gonna lie, I took a really fat trim here. Let me show you guys. I took a really fat trim here, right over here. If you guys look at the chat, let me show you guys. I got a really fat trim here from the entry, right? But it's just that pullback, bro. It's that 15-minute gap, bro. If anything, we could probably look for a re-entry off this 15-minute inverse if we end up getting it, but we'll see. Right now, ES is kind of trying to reject off this 5-minute gap, so maybe we get a nice sell-off soon, hopefully. We'll see, because right now the market is a little sketch, but we'll see. We'll see. So far, we are kind of holding this 5-minute candle red. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Now, guys, I will say that if this candle is able to sell off into this low, I'm gonna automatically move my stop loss to break even no matter what. All right, I'll take one more scale out here and then just do break even. But if I end up getting stopped out up here, remember, guys, I did move my stop loss from the 360s into the 346, just so I can de-risk off the contracts. And if worst comes to worst, I just end break even on the day. All right, but yeah, so far it's like, yes, trying to reject off this 5-minute gap, but NQ isn't really letting it. So it just kind of shows that buyers are kind of getting a little bit of control here. But let's see if we can afford a rejection before we see that stop loss, because we're getting very close there. Let me kind of move this over just so you guys can see what I'm seeing here. There you go. My stop loss is right up here. So hopefully we can get a very nice last minute rejection. But if not, like I said, worst comes to worst, I'll just get stopped out of break even for the day. But yeah, let's see. So far, we're kind of still holding this down. Or at least we're trying to. ES kind of inverse that 5-minute gap, although it was small. Let's see if we can get some. Like I said, right now, it's the trade setup is there. It worked down to our price target, but now it's all on hope, guys. We need hope to bring this down, guys. Before we get stopped out of break even here, we need this to get a last second sell off to the downside. Like I said, if we can like retrace into this low right down here, I will go ahead and take one more scale and just do an automatic break even stop loss. All right, we're about to hit break even on the trade once again. Our entry was at 18, so we're about 10 points away. But I'm really hoping we can get a sell off just into that low. That's all I'm asking for. I want to take one last trim, guys. do the magnet. Oh, dude, I don't know what the magnet will work, bro. This market's a little choppy. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it would definitely have us like a little bit on the edge, bro. There you go. There's a magnet for you guys. But yeah, this market, it's just the you guys know this. The momentum just for today's market has been a little bit off. So pullbacks here and there are bound to happen. As long as we don't get pulled back into the stop loss or whatever, we should be good as long as the MSS holds, right? Because we just got a new MSS model from the main low right down here on the 15-minute time frame, from this main low all the way down to this new main low right down here, which is beautiful, right? I'm just hoping that we just don't chop up into the stop loss and get stopped at a break even. I don't want that. I want to see a little bit more on the trade. That's all I ask for, NQ. That is all I ask for. Yeah, let's hope that this magnet the magnet model works. The setup already worked into our price target. Now it's use the magnet model. You know what I mean? Got the perfect entry, bro. Now that that I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't think I've ever seen a more perfect entry in my life, bro. That is a beautiful entry, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Really good work on that, bro. I'm assuming you got trims, right? Yeah, I'm seeing that green line there. Yeah, you definitely did get trims there. Beautiful. Beautiful entry and beautiful exit, bro. Literally perfect. Wow. Oh, yeah. Stop glazing. My bad, bro. My bad. But yeah, let's see. So far, this candle is holding up like a doji. These are the candles that I hate, absolutely hate, because it's so hard to get a read whether I know. It's really just hard to know whether I know if it's if the market's going to go down or not, because it's a doji candle. You know what I mean? There's nothing going on in the candle. So as much as I want to tell you guys, oh yeah, we're bound to go lower, which I'm praying that we see, because I want to take one last scale down here at this inverse. It's really hard to tell right now because the candle is pretty low in volume, I would say. But yeah, in the meantime, guys, let me catch up with the chat, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, today I have not read the chat at all, which don't worry, guys, I'm not egoing you or anything. I've just been really focused on the charts and explaining it. All right. Let me see. David, could you tell me why my trim rejected, or your trim rejected? That's not supposed to happen. Are you sure you're not buying more contracts? We need more magnets. I got you, bro. 3 should be the deal here. Let's get all I ask for NQ. It's just one pretty sell off, and that's it, bro. That's all I want. It's just so choppy right now. So, like I said, regardless of what happens, guys, this trade, worst comes to worst, this trade will just end at break even, which I honestly don't really care about. The reason I'm so kind of like non-caring about the break even and all that stuff, guys, is mainly because what's it called? I'm really guys. The trade that we caught on Tuesday, the 125, which went over 150 points as well, guys. That trade made me some serious money this week. All right. And I'm assuming it did to you guys as well, right? I'm assuming everyone caught the trade on Tuesday. That one couldn't have been more perfect. Perfect entry, perfect take profits, everything. All right. So yeah, too slow. Yeah, bro. It is, bro. It's just these wicks, bro. I hate them, man. I really do hate them. But like I said, if I get stopped out of break even, I don't really care. I really don't. It's just like a Christmas tree right now. Green, red, green, red, green, red. Now, if we do end up getting stopped out of break even on this trade and we get a very last second sell off to the downside, we can possibly look to take one last entry off this. This would be like a backup. Let me delete this. I'll the joke's over. I would love to see a last second entry into this right here. It will be a 32 to 30, depending on the selling pressure, about a 30 to 35 point price target off of the fair value gap that we're currently bouncing from right now. So for the people that might have missed your entries off the first trade and didn't get the scales or whatever, obviously if you didn't enter, you know what I mean? And you guys are still willing to enter, I'm really open to possibly taking another entry off here. I would have to see the volume. If the volume stays like this, obviously I'm not gonna take it. In fact, we got pretty lucky that we even saw the price target before we chopped up, because this would have been really ugly for a trade. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy that we're able to secure one price target on this trade. But for the people that didn't enter on this trade, guys, and you guys are possibly open to taking one more entry, it would have to be off this 15-minute gap. So right now, guys, quick thing, go on your chart real quick, and mark out the fair value gap that goes from 303, 22,303 to 23,292. Your entry would be ideally around 292 if the selling pressure is definitely there. All right, guys. Are you gonna look for another entry after this? Um, I don't really have an answer for you right now. I would have to kind of see how the market is reacting. I will let you know. All right, but for now, I mean, I'm just focused on this trade. But dude, it is so slow. So once again, guys, I will say, that if the market grinds down into this rally gap, just like how we're doing with this type of volume right here, do not take it. Trust me, it's not gonna be very fun. All right, do not take it. Now, if we get a very strong selling candle like this 15-minute selling candle right here, then yeah, you can consider definitely taking a short position off this as well, right over here to go ahead and target the main price target, which would be the internal low level of liquidity right over here over at 269 or 270, whichever. All right, but guys, look at this market, man. It's like we're selling off, we're going up, we're selling off, we're going up. Oh, I hate it, bro. But yeah. Wait, did the 15-minute candle close? No, it closes in 1 minute. Because we're going to have this fair value gap that we might retrace into, which is a very tight fair value gap, but that might be the case. 23,346 is your stop loss. Yeah, I did adjust it after I took scales. I didn't want to do break even just yet because we didn't see 35 points. But so typically for the people wondering, like, hey, what happens if you hit a price target that's less than your stop loss? Should you move your stop loss to break even? No, in fact, you can move it to a little bit less red. All right, so we had a stop loss at 360. We just moved it down into 346. And for those wondering, why did you do such a specific number? It's because if you look at the 15-minute time frame, right here we have a 15-minute bearish rally gap being formed. So obviously, if this 15-minute bearish rally gap gets inverse, that's probably a sign that buyers are stepping in, right? So you will put your stop loss on top of the inverse. All right. But yeah, and my trading view is very slow right now. I don't know why. I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. I got you. Oh, let me see. I got a message on my phone. Couple of rejections at that internal low at 340. Yeah, I will wait, 340. Oh, the internal low. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, we have a few rejections here. But all it takes is one strong buyer, and the shit will be out of the game. You know what I mean? So hopefully we're able to step in with the selling pressure really soon. Although yes, does look way stronger to the upside than today's market is just so choppy. It's so one second yes is bearish, the other second is bullish. Dude, this market is a mess, bro. It is a huge mess. All right, let's see if we can get some selling pressure here. Hopefully. Keep in mind, guys, we do have this for value, so we might break above this high for just a split second. I kind of doubt it. If we break above the high, we're probably just gonna get stopped out regardless. But we do have another 15-minute fair value gap, or bearish rally gap right here that we could possibly reject from soon, hopefully. So we could. I just want to take one last scale. That's all I want behind this trade, because if not, if we see that stop loss, I'm just gonna get stopped out or break even and pretty much just be up $0 on the day, which I don't really want. So yeah, hopefully we can get a rejection here. Very strong rejection. Yeah, dude, this chop is killing us, bro. I don't think natural gas does anything on NQ. Just really fully? I thought I did. Because with this entry you marked out, we are in a bad spot with the London low. The price could shoot down, take out the London low with the big momentum. That's why I always tell you guys, make sure that you're entering with selling pressure. All right, I'll have to explain after this trade. Right now, I'm really focused on this, on seeing if this gets stopped out or not. It's looking like it though. We're getting very close to this. Oh, nice green to red there. Oh, it was there. I spoke too soon, bro. What is this market? Bro, you tell me, bro. You tell me. The entry? No. It means I'm gonna catch up with YouTube. Let me kind of distract myself. Um, is the stream delayed? It is, yes. On YouTube, it is. On Discord, it isn't. Let's see. Hey, David, I still get trouble sometimes with my entries. And I'm reading some on the chat also had problems. Can you make a little recap in where we can see volume on your trade evade with your entries and trims? Um, your trade. I don't use any guys. The trade evade volume and all that stuff. I don't use that stuff. I just look at how price breaks above or below the fair value gap. Like I said, I can explain to you guys literally anything and everything about my strategy, my model. But the one thing that's really hard to explain, is explaining the volume. Because like I said, guys, seeing volume in the market every day, every candle is going to be completely different to every other candle. It might be similar, but very different. So it's just something that you guys need screen time with. I mean, something that with volume and entries and everything, that's something that you learn on your own. The more time you spend in the markets, the more familiar you get with certain ways that volume reacts, and like how do I word this? You're gonna get familiarized with certain ways that the market reacts based off entries with certain amount of volume pressure. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, for example, let's say we take this exact fair value gap with a very choppy market. Do you think we're gonna go anywhere? No. So you probably shouldn't enter until you see a very aggressive candle. So look, think about it like this. Think about it like this. Think about it like this, right? How do I word this? Okay, so let's say you're about to get an entry, right? And you're second guessing yourself, right? And the way I like to think about it is sellers show you in the market like, hey, there's nothing to worry about. We're here. We're in control. Buyers are mean nothing to us, and we're gonna make this go down, right? And how do you know how to read this? Mainly because you're looking at the aggression in the volume. If sellers look very very aggressive, it shouldn't be an issue to continue that aggression and go back down. More times than not, when the volume is really aggressive, it's really hard for the opposite direction to really kick in and take full control after. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully that makes sense. It's kind of like a reassurance. So when I'm looking at a trade, I'm always like, guys, make sure we get a nice hold below the fair value gap. Make sure we get a nice aggressive candle. Because if you're taking a very like a doji candle, you're taking an entry based off something that the market doesn't even know where it wants to go. You get what I'm saying? So it's really hard to tell. It's really hard to explain. Is what I'm trying to say. Dude, this market is horrible, bro. And yeah, we're getting close to stop loss. I might get stopped out of break even here, guys, on this trade. Like I say, if I have to find another entry later today off this inverse right here, if we do end up getting very last second selling pressure, then sure, I'll do it. But for now, it's like, bro, my stop loss is literally getting edged. You know what I mean? I'm more than likely gonna get stopped out very very soon here. Um, but yeah. Let's see. And there we go. Guys, I am out. I pretty much got out at break even on this trade. Although we hit the price target, fortunately, the trade couldn't run any lower. So pretty much made $0 on this trade. Pretty much nothing. All right. But yeah, it's just right now, guys, the market is too choppy. I don't really think it's worth trading right now. If anything, come back later. I'm gonna say for now, watch out for this setup right over here. By the way, I don't know if you guys might have taken out full profits or not at the price target. I took out most, but keep in mind I did size light, so it didn't really make up for too much. But guys, like I said, for now, mark out this fair value gap right over here, right? Mark this one out if we do end up getting a very nice selling candle. Because keep in mind, the MSS model is still very bearish, as you guys see right here. if we can manage to get very strong selling into this inverse, I'll consider taking another entry to get a little bit more on the day. All right, guys. But so far, I'm pretty much up nothing on the day. Down nothing, up nothing. Pretty much end the break even on this trade. Which, like I said, I don't really care about too much. The model was there. It's just very slow markets. But just so you guys know, for next time, make sure to, for now, for later today, make sure to look for an entry model off this right over here. All right, this is the main thing that I'm looking out for right now. All right, guys. So before you guys get off the stream, take this. Mark this setup out right here. All right, we're gonna be looking for an entry model here. All right, so it will look like this. This will be my next model for today if I consider taking it. All right, and obviously we're gonna do a 30 point stop loss for this one because the volume is pretty dead here. All right, so it will look like this. All right, so, and don't worry, I'll post in the subs to watch channel. All right. Let me see. Minus $30. Yeah, bro, we have really good risk reward on this trade. Although we did see the price target get hit and everything, it's just it wasn't enough to really move to break even just yet. So yeah. But anyways, guys, it's a very slow market. Just avoid it for now. You know what I mean? Just wait for the next selling kind of thing to come around, the selling wave, and just take it off this instead. All right, guys. So yeah, I sent it over in the chat just so you guys know what we're looking out for. All right, right over here. All right, and don't worry, I'll post it in the setups to watch. Now, I will say before you guys get off, how many of you guys ended up taking full profits on this trade at the price target? I'm seeing I did 1,400 on evals. Me, okay, so I'm seeing a good amount of you guys are taking pretty much full profits at that low, right there. I trimmed 2 out of 5. I trimmed 3 out of 5 as well. Most then stopped at the entry, so pretty much break even. Yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing a little bit of mixed here and there, a little bit of break even, maybe a little bit of red, maybe a little bit of green. But most people should be green off this, no matter what. But guys, like I said, for now, keep your notifications on. I'm gonna be looking for an entry off this. As long as the volume looks good, I will alert it and everything. I probably won't catch it on live because I have to go back to the house and start, obviously still doing everything and all that stuff. But guys, this will be the next setup for the day, right? All right, guys. So remember, 15-minute fair value gap, mark it out right here. We're going to be looking for a strong selling candle into this inverse to then take shorts all the way down into here. All right, guys, this is what we're looking for. All right, guys. We're going to miss it again like yesterday. Hopefully not, bro. Hopefully not. All right. But anyways, guys, for now, I have to get to packing up and start going back. But I know I've said it 7 times. I'm not even going to say it anymore. I'm sure you guys understood it. All right. So yeah, look for this one right here. All right. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off. I'm going to start packing up. Like I said, this week, I've been really, really busy just going all around, bro. So yeah, I'm going to try to be as active as I can. But yeah, for now, guys, just keep your notifications on, pay attention, and look for this one right here. All right, guys. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'll be active in the chat as much as I can. But I got to get to doing some work. All right, guys. So yeah. All right, I'll see you guys later then. All right, guys. Peace out, guys. Peace out. Enjoy your days. And remember, pay attention to this one right here. All right, guys. Peace out, guys. Peace, peace, peace. And YouTube, guys, hopefully you guys were able to see some green off this trade. Right now, I'm pretty much breaking even on day. I lost nothing. I made nothing. I did take some scales out right down here, but it was kind of like whatever on this trade. So we're going to be waiting for another entry right over here once again. All right, guys. But if you guys are interested in joining the premium and getting access to the next trade that we're going to be taking live, guys, click the first link in the description. Use code exclusive for 75% off any premium upgrade. And I'm really hoping to see you guys in the winning side. All right, guys. But for now, I got to get to driving to the new house. So I got to get some work done. All right, guys. But yeah, if anything, just pay attention to the setup and I'll see you guys later today. All right, guys. Peace out, guys.